They say that you got about the wall, bro.
Lorton. My escape from Lorton Maximum Security in 95, 96, I think that was one of the most strategic moves that I pulled off, right? So I had taken some wet newspaper, right? And I fashioned it into the shape of a leg. And I stuffed long johns and socks on it, put shoes on it. Again, I went to the barber shop and I got hair. I put eyebrows, mustaches, hair on the head, skull cap on, and I made a mannequin. And I sit it in my bed. In the chest, I carved out a center. I had a little fan with a little propeller on it. And I put a trash bag on it to make it look like the heart was beating, right? And I called a couple of homies to the door. I said, man, go on there and wake Reds up. Niggas said, stop playing. I said, nah, people in my cell. And they came back and reported to me, said, man, that looked just like you in that bed. I said, okay. So at 12 noon, the trash truck coming to the yard. And they hollering on the yard, on the compound, clear the yard, count time. And so instead of me going back to my cell, I got in the dumpster. Man, it was so cold in that junk. Stunk like death. And I'm sitting up in there, me and my man, and we're waiting for 12 noon for these trash trucks to come from the street. They came and picked us up. So I stood between two trash bags because I'm in the middle of two gun towers. There's no way humanly possible, had they really been on top of the game and did the job, that they would not have seen me fall through the air into the roof of this trash truck.
Oh, they used to big like the big blue ones that dump it behind.
Yeah, they lift up the trash, you know what I mean, and dump it in the joint. So they got what they call the blade. The blade was like a steel beam that would push all the trash to the back of the truck and pack it.
Did you know all this? Did you know about this mechanics in the truck at the time?
I had read up on it, I studied, I did my research on that joint. But I remember as a kid how trash trucks would come in the alley and they'd be leaking like a Puerto Rican and, water or whatever, liquid would leak out the trash can and stink the alley up. So I just assumed that it was somewhere where I could breathe. So I had to master suffocation, being crushed, right? And so it took me about 3 weeks to say, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die on the other side of the wall, right? So I got in there, we in the joint. So what had happened was they took us from the wall, unbeknown to me, to the hill. So all them, little workshops and stuff, all the trash, glass, nails, and all that stuff, they dumping into the joint. So I lost count at about 16, 18 dumpsters.
So you were being buried.
Buried alive, just like in sand up to my neck. I'm in the middle of this trash and it's cold and stinking. And,
Did you ever think about giving up?
Hell no. The guy I was with, because I'm panting, my lungs can't expand because I'm buried alive. So I'm panting like a dog. And he said, Rez, man, he said, I'm gonna beat on the truck, tell the police, man. But now I hear the gravel kicking up out of the truck. So I know you turn to the left, I'm out alone. I'm free. You feel me? I tell him, I said, man, you better not knock on that goddamn truck. It's either liberation or death, right? And we made it to this incinerator spot. They dropped us out into a concrete floor. You could feel the floor vibrating up under me. So he stepped out from under the beam and said, Red, let's ride, man. I said, man, get the trash off me. Feel like the world was sitting on my legs. He said, man, ain't nothing on your legs. I looked down, wasn't no trash or nothing. He pulled me up, but my shoulder was dislocated. And I fell back in the trash, and he took off running. In my opinion, Slim, it's like people say, did he leave you? And I'm saying, the honorable thing for me to do, because I don't have no legs, is to tell you to leave me. I didn't have to
You
tell
said
him.
liberation or death, right?
Yeah, but I didn't have to tell him to leave. He left on his own, right? And then they see me in the trash, so they got this hand would come out, and it would take all the trash and push it into a grinder, right? And from the grinder, it push you into the furnace, and they burn the trash. And he saw me, he picked me up. They took me over DC. They took me to Fairfax in DC General, and they said, man, we don't have no place to house this dude, man. Like, so I don't know what the fuck made them think that I had no juice, that nobody was gonna come in there and get me. Like, they said, well, we got something for him, and they put me on a little private jet and flew me to Springfield, Missouri. Like, the doctor in Springfield told me, he said, man, you stayed in there 2 more minutes. He said, your head would have burst like a balloon.
What, pressure?
Pressure, right. And so from there, I landed in Lewisburg, right. And the young homies, they gravitated toward me. They took me on the weight pile. They built my legs up. They walked me. They pushed me to walk the yard. Next thing you know, I was jogging. I say 6 months, man, elapsed. I'm doing the Muhammad Ali shuffle, you know, and I was back, man. By the grace of God. My book is on Amazon. Gangster Scribe 2. My name is Harold Roberts. And I want to give a shout out to my man, Timmy Poole, who have served over 50 years, and he's on his way home as we speak, right? Big shout out to Slim. And all the homies who are real homies, and you know you are. Lil Rep, big shout out to Shorty. Shorty is a historian. You know, he can play back history, pays back. I mean, so for real, and that's what we got close at, you know, conversing about history. Antone White, goddamn, this is an exceptional young dude, man. Undoubtedly, man. And he's a principled person. He stands on principles. He's about a homie. And to be so young makes him impressionable to me, right? And we bump heads several times in the joint. He ain't going for nothing. He ain't backing down. He ain't slipping and sliding. And I respect him, and that's how we began to unify, and we became close.